All right, I had a lot of people asking about how I dip the Marx train, so I thought I'd do a quick video on how it's done. I've got two bodies here ready to go. Now, you don't always have to prime them. Both of these had rust pits, so I primed them and sanded out the pits, so they'll be nice and smooth, kind of like new metal. What I did was sand them with 600 dry, and then I hit them with 1,000 wet sandpaper. Cleaned them, and then also use a wax and grease remover with a lint-free cloth. Wipe them down real good to get any handprints, any contaminants on it, because if you have any on it when you dip them, you'll get little fish eyes, little craters is where the contaminants is pushing the paint away. So you gotta make sure they're clean. And then of course I used a tack cloth that's used for automotive paint, just to dust them off, get any dust off, anything that's sitting on there that the paint could leave a little bump after you dip it. What I use, I've already wiped those down, so I just do a quick one just for demonstration. But here's what I use. It's Rust-Oleum. It's an oil-based black, and I thin this about 15 to 20% with enamel thinner. Seems to be a good consistency. You don't want it too thick because you are dipping it. You want a lot of it to run off. Now, what I have here is a bucket. I use 2 quarts. It has to be a clean bucket, clean container, and I strain the paint with a filter. Now, I did get a couple little bits of stuff in there, so every time I do this, I run it through the strainer just to pick up anything in it. Also have the rear plates that hold the couplers. This one still has the original coupler on it. I wanted to retain that original rivet. And what I did was clean these in evapor rust and then just scrubbed them with a toothbrush, soap and water. Didn't want any kind of scratches, didn't want to use sandblaster on them. Wanted to keep that original finish look. Gave them a coat of semi-gloss clear, just in a rattle can is fine. I don't know if you can see it in this one. I'll try to get close enough here. You can see the lines where these are dipped. So these, at the factory, these were the older versions where they just dipped the ends of them. This one was dipped just past that circle. This one was dipped quite a bit past it. So I'm going to try to hit them about the same spot and then hang them up. And then I'll show you how I dip the shells. So I'll do these real quick. Very simple, just lower it into the paint, down to your line, and lift it out. Those are real easy. Now this one got a couple of bubbles in it, but they'll run off. And if you can't get them to come off, like there's one right there, I'm going to just dip it again. There, it's gone. And then paint will bridge over holes like that. You can just blow through it, and then it'll come out. So those I'll hang off to the side. And I put some paper down to catch the paint that's going to fall. There you go. You can see it looks just like the factory. Let's do this one first. Now, I don't have enough paint to completely dip the bodies. So what I do is I dip the nose first, flip it over, and I'll grab it with the hook. I had a couple examples that still had the original runs in them. And by hanging it like this, if you could imagine straight up and down, the run would be kind of at an angle on the shell. So that's how I do it. I've seen runs go in different directions, so I'm sure Marx has changed this up over the years, but it's real easy to just hang by the smokestack, so I'm going to continue doing that. So what I'm going to do is tilt the bucket a little bit so I can get this dipped at least half, or a little more than half. Just kind of roll it around like that. And then I'm going to put my hook in and then dip the back. And just take a peek inside, make sure, see there how the paint is, I mean, it's just really running off. Let's hang that one up. And I'll come back and I'll just blow through these holes to try to get the bridged paint off of them. Now this one's next. Now this one I took the nose off because I'm going to do a chrome nickel plated nose on it, which I've already got ready. So this is going to be pretty sharp with the black and the chrome nose. So this one, I don't have to worry about trying to get all the paint in there because there's no nose, so it'll be a real quick one to dip. Again, we'll just dip the bucket, dip it, rotate it, try to get a little past half, like I said. That way, whenever you hook it and hang it, because this part you can't really grab it and roll it because it's covered in paint. So now I just want to get that last bit. There it is. This makes a mess, so make sure you put down some paper, cardboard, something to catch it all. So we're going to hang these up, let them dry overnight, and I should be able to handle them in the morning. Being it's an air dry enamel, they will take fingerprints pretty easy the next few days. I recommend letting them dry like this for days if you can. So if you got a garage, take them out to the shop, let them dry. So that's pretty much it. I'll give you a close-up look of how they look. You can see they're pretty slick, and the paint still dripping off, but I don't know if I can get a good angle. There you can see a little bit of the paint running, kind of in an angle. So what happens is you have that mass of paint in one area, and then when it comes down, it follows like some paths on the body, and then it comes in heavy in different areas. Like right here, we'll probably have a little run where it's coming off the top and then coming down. So, and then some, I've seen this before on some of the original Marks, right here on the corners, there'll be a buildup of paint. So don't worry about that. It is kind of normal. But I think they turned out pretty good. And there you have it.